What's up, everybody? Welcome to SixPack Abs. I'm Coach Johnny Catanzano.
And I'm Coach Crystal.
And we are your certified six-pack trainers. It's Whiteboard Wednesday. We've got another Whiteboard Educational series video for you guys. And if you've been paying attention to the last couple videos, we've been talking a lot about
macros and calculating macros.
Exactly. So a little bit, maybe it's a little bit of some difficult topics for some of us. So we really try to break it down into each video to really simplify it. Today, what we're going to talk about is what your daily calorie deficit should be for fat loss. So that's the key there. Is this whole talk today is mainly pertaining if you're looking to lose fat. We'll do another video for another day if you're looking to either maintain or really build some muscle.
Which is also really important.
Absolutely. You got to know what your calories are for building as well as losing.
Whatever you're wanting to do.
So, Crystal, we work with a lot of clients, right?
Yes.
Lots of men and lots of women. What would you say is maybe one of the most common questions we get in the beginning when somebody's looking to lose fat?
Number one question always, how do I lose fat? How do I lose fat the fastest way possible?
Exactly. That's the key there. Is a lot of us want it gone, and we want it gone now.
Yes. So
we're going to be here to educate you on what proper and healthy weight loss is, because just like anything, you can potentially take it to an extreme and maybe do more harm than good and not get the results that you realistically want.
Absolutely. There's definitely unhealthy ways to do this, guys, and it's very, very important you don't do that.
Here at SixPack Abs, we're all about getting results, losing fat, building muscle, that sort of thing, but we're also about longevity. We want to grow old, we want to look good when we're older, and we want to stay young and healthy and still be working out.
We want to grow old but not look old. One of the biggest questions I feel like most people have is, where do I start?
Absolutely, and that's a pretty generalized question, but to put it in a nutshell, in order to lose fat, the first rule is you must be in a calorie deficit. Your energy balance must be negative, which means at the end of the day, your body is burning more calories than you're consuming. And that's just the basic guideline. There's other factors that can go into weight loss, like hormones and medical conditions and prescription medication, that sort of thing. But for this talk, we're talking about your general average, quote unquote, healthy person looking to lose a little bit of weight.
Yes, again, we'll go into another video that talks about gut health, metabolism, all that, and you can...
Hormones, that whole thing. Exactly. We're going to have a whole nother Whiteboard Wednesday for you guys. Now that we know, the rule number one is you must be in a calorie deficit at the end of the day or at the end of the week in order to lose fat. Where do I start with that? So there's a lot of ways you can go with a calorie deficit. Should I be burning a lot more calories than I'm consuming? Should I be burning just a little bit more? Where do I get started? So first, let's talk about healthy weight loss. A lot of people, like you said, want results, and they want it now. There's just like anything, there's pros and cons to that. The biggest cons of trying with rapid weight loss is you're exponentially raising your risk of gaining the weight back plus more. You're going to do it in an unhealthy manner, possibly harming your metabolism over time. And then also you want to think about what's called metabolic capacity. If you start cutting all of your calories now and start with a really extreme calorie deficit now, what are you going to do in 6 months when you come to a point where maybe you're plateauing or the weight loss slows down?
You're going to slow down your metabolism, guys, by trying to go too fast. It has to be a gradual thing.
Exactly. So healthy weight loss is actually a half a pound to 1 pound a week. So a lot of you are like...
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is.
It really is, guys. Crystal's worked with hundreds of clients over the years, and honestly, the clients that get the weight off and then keep it off and then are very successful at that, the majority of them on average are in this frame. You're gonna have, just like a bell curve, just like an average, you're always gonna have outliers. Some people are gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds a week. They do it successfully, they keep it off. And that's great, and I applaud that.
Yes.
Some people are just like that. However, for the average adult, half a pound to 1 pound a week is where you want to be, and that's the sweet spot. So knowing this information, we can then in turn figure out what our daily calorie deficit should be. So if you're looking to lose 1 pound a week, the science actually shows the calculation needed would be that you would want a 500 calorie deficit per day. Okay? So the math shows that if you do this per day, meaning let's say Crystal burns 2,500 calories a day, and she consumes exactly 2,000 a day, that would be a 500 calorie deficit per day. You multiply this times 7 days, that's 3,500 calories a week, which is in deficit, which will roughly yield that 1 pound of weight loss. So that's a really kind of a magic number, and it's a really good general area to start for a lot of people, especially maybe if you have 10 or more pounds to lose.
Right.
Okay? Now, let's go up here on the other side of things, a little bit more of a conservative route. Maybe you have less than 10 pounds to lose. And remember, we want to think about metabolic capacity, longevity. What are you going to do in 2 or 3 months if you're plateauing and the weight loss stops? You can't just keep cutting your calories more and more and more. And again, you can start to cause other problems. So a conservative calorie deficit would be in the 250 a day, which would get you at 1,750 per week, which is that half a pound a week. Now guys, the other thing I want to mention about this is you want to see a trend of this. You don't necessarily have to have exactly 1 pound or exactly a half a pound coming off every single week. Weight loss is just unfortunately never linear.
Right, it's going to go up and down, and that's a lot of reason why most people get frustrated, and then you stress out, and that will also cause you to gain weight and go the exact opposite of what you're trying to do.
It's the number one reason why people give
Right,
up. They get the first 2 weeks, they get a little progress, and the third week comes and their weight goes up.
You have to be patient. You also have to go off how you're feeling.
Exactly.
More energy, your clothes are fitting better. Go off of the non-monetary.
Non-scale victories,
Yes,
what we like to call that here at
exactly.
SixPack. Now the scale is important, it is a reference point, but like she said, it's not the end all be all. You're gonna have a week where you don't see this 0.5 or 1.0 pound loss per week. You wanna look at a trend over the course of about 3 to 4 weeks. If you see that trend of about a half a pound to a pound a week, you're gonna have a flat week or two. You might have a week that's up. You're still progressing.
Yes.
Don't panic, stay patient, and stay the course.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the flip side of things and what I would consider an aggressive calorie deficit. To me, anything aggressive is gonna be 500 calories and up a day. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do this. I'm not saying it's bad. But in a perfect world, you realistically want to be losing weight, eating and consuming as much as possible with as small as a calorie deficit as possible. You want to be patient, especially if you're maybe a larger person where your skin's been stretched out for a long time.
Right, it's very important to go slow, so your skin goes at the same time as your...
Now, some people, their skin will come back very quickly, but for others, it can take a while.
Everybody's different, guys.
Everybody's different. So these are what we consider the 3 levels. We highly, highly recommend here at SixPack Abs sticking between the moderate and conservative calorie deficits per day, which will yield you that nice healthy weight loss of a half pound a week. Anything over 500 calories, we're going to consider a little bit more aggressive. We don't recommend it. We're not saying it can't be done, but just consider metabolic capacity. If you're consuming 1,000 calories a day now, but you're burning 3,000, when you start to plateau in about 2 or 3 weeks, what are you going to do? Eat 500 calories a day? You're just going to eat less? Eat a couple grapes?
That'd be terrible. You want to eat as much as you can while losing weight.
Correct.
And you definitely have to take into consideration how much you're burning, how much activity you're doing during the day. So don't forget to include that in when you figure out your macros.
Because as you know, when you lose 5 pounds here and then you lose 10 pounds there, you're going to continue to need to have that deficit. And you will eventually have to change your calorie intake. You will have to go down slightly if you have a significant amount of weight to lose.
Right.
That's how it's going to work. As you lose more body weight, let's say you're a 250 pound person, and then you lose 20 pounds, well, you're only a 230 pound person now. You don't need as many calories as you did to operate before. So you will have those changes. That's why it's much smarter to go with a conservative or moderate calorie deficit.
Exactly. You will have to change your numbers as you go and recalculate.
Correct.
Correct. So we'll definitely have another whiteboard series for that as well.
Yeah, we'll need to know. We'll kind of dive in depth about how to recalculate your calories and macros as you progress. All right, guys, for SixPack Abs, this is Coach Johnny.
And this is Coach Crystal. Hey guys, be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and then click on the notification so you are aware every time we put out a new one.
Coach Crystal and I absolutely love educating you guys. This is another one from our Whiteboard Educational series. We're calling it Whiteboard Wednesday. hope you guys learned a little bit. If you have any questions, make sure and comment below.
Yeah, or if you have any topics that you would like us to discuss, we're open for that as well.
Please give us some suggestions, and we'll see you next time.